Like when you're starting, you just gotta shoot. You gotta shoot and you gotta take shows, you call the designers you like, be like, look, I'll do it for free. Because you need the practice. And that's what I did. I mean, I was so stoked. When I was working for Vogue, when I first moved back, I was shooting twice a week. And it was the most insane practice. And it was like a portrait that would run this big. I was like, I don't care. And it was like some like a journalist in Brooklyn, and I mean, she's not fashion, but I'm like pulling in Jill Sander and pulling, all the major stuff, because it's like, oh, she'll love it, she's intellectual. Oh, sorry, guy. Do you want, where is it? I think you want to do it?
Do you want to put it under your shirt? Does it matter that
yeah,
we
I can do that. Get naked in front of everybody. Like right here?
Yeah, you just go to that.
Okay. Is that better?
Perfect.
Okay. What was I saying? Oh, Jill Sander. Oh, yeah. So I got to practice for the first time, like consistently. I mean, the great thing about the first job I had at Dallas Morning News is we shot once a week. And so shooting once a week, you just get into you're in a flow. You learn how to set up really quick. You learn how to organize yourself, which is so important. You learn how to steam perfectly. I mean, because I didn't have an assistant. I was styling. I mean, it's Dallas, so, which was great because it's like my advertisers were amazing because it's a newspaper. So my advertisers were Kmart and Prada and Neiman Marcus, and then there would be like a weird like Fruit of the Loom, and so it's like okay. And they're like, you need to get all this in. It's like, okay. And that's also the other fun thing about what we do. And once you have a voice, it's putting together a puzzle. That's the really fun thing that I love about it. It's like it's like being put in a room with 60 racks of clothes. It's putting together a huge puzzle and somehow making it make sense. And that's through having your voice and your storytelling abilities. So at the Dallas Morning News, I was shooting once a week, practice. And then when I went out to do fashion shows, that was that was practicing fashion shows. I mean, I was doing 4 shows a season, 4 times a year, with no sleep and like pounding and doing the budgets and all the logistics. And then when I went to Pop, and working with Maria Amelie at French Vogue, I didn't have a day off for over 3 months. Not one day. Not one day. I was researching. If I wasn't researching, I was in the library doing research, researching shopping. If I wasn't shopping, I was in the library doing research for that. If I wasn't doing, we were on set, or I was prepping, doing looks with her at the office. Like, it was practice, practice, practice. That's what assisting is so genius for. It's like, it's not assisting like, you're learning. Because right now there's nothing, and I'm working on that, that's why I'm here. I'm working on doing background education, so people don't necessarily have to go and assist to learn this stuff. But that's what you do, is you're apprenticing. You're figuring out, okay, you're practicing all these processes, because until you have the processes down, you can't really work on your voice. Because you're so in the minutia of all the other crap you have to put together, because we do a lot of production as stylists, a lot of production. And shipping and handling. I mean, we might as well have our own shipping and handling department. And also it's like, we're working with $500,000, $1 million worth of clothes. Sometimes on my shoots, it's like, I'm like, that dress is worth $20,000. And you're just like, oh my God. And we're just like throwing them around like it's no big deal. And it's like, no. And so working through the process and starting to practice. And then when I came back here and started working with Vogue and shooting twice a week, I got real clear really fast about how to make people comfortable, which is so important, especially with working like celebrities or someone who's not a model. And I got really good at like, okay, this is my voice, and then it makes the whole process so much faster. But you have to learn the process first, you find your voice, and then you can just start rolling, then you just practice. And I think that's why a lot of I know there's some other styling courses that exist out there, and they do like a fake shoot. But really, one fake shoot, no one's gonna learn you're not gonna learn anything. Because you don't have the pressures of the client there, because that's a whole nother psychological thing, is making the customer service, right? Like the customer service of your hair and makeup team, and it's like, you don't get to say. I mean, you say, like, you have to have the story and hold your voice, but you're taking care of other people. Like, it's a democracy. It's not a dictatorship. It's like far, far from. And it's like, that's such a skill to be able to hold your voice and take care of people. It's so incredible. I mean, I love, that's what it's like, that's what I respect so much about like Grace and Katie and Maria Malie and Alex White is I watch them. I've watched them now for years when they're on the shows, and you know, everyone's stressed out. The designer, nobody's slept in like 4 days. Nobody's eating, you're eating at your table like this. And so, you know, the stuff that starts to go on, right? Like we all get really edgy. And I watch these women who are, and men too, Carl Templer, they're incredible at what they do. And they have this commitment to keep their voice and take care of their client. And they're able, despite the fact that they're exhausted and starving and whatever else is going on, they're able to continue to take care of them, but not in a like yes, yes way. Like, oh yeah, whatever you want. It's like, no, they really sit there and think with them. And they're able to keep that kind of mental strength of being able to sit and think with their clients and really take care of their clients, because you know our clients hire us because of our voice and they want us to tell us what we think. And it's not an opinion what we do. And I think a lot of people get confused about that. Like they think when I go in and work with a client, like especially a big business, they're like, oh, it's just your opinion. I'm like, no, this is not an opinion. This is an assessment. I can ground it from fashion. Like if I'm saying, oh, it's all about 1970s Taxi, you know, with Robert De Niro and Jodie Foster, and they're like, oh, you just, you know, it's just, no, it's not my opinion. You pull the amount of shows that had looks from that movie. Like this isn't me just deciding that that's what's cool. Like that is, we ground what we do. So, I mean, and sometimes it's like, when I'm working with magazines, I will make like Twin Peaks. That had nothing to do with anything. And Katie was like, but I had to pitch it, right? I had to be like, oh, I'm really into this because, something was going on. There was like a suburban thing going on, a suburban American thing going on in fashion. I was like, okay, well, this is my reference for American suburbia. And that's what we were all obsessed with, like this teen American suburban thing. So I was like, oh, okay, Twin Peaks. But we really have to ground what we say, like our opinions with clients, or our assessments, because they're not opinions. And when people are like, oh yeah, that's just your opinion, I'm like, yeah, it's like you can think that. But the really powerful, like as you get like the really powerful clients, they know you're not opining and they listen. And I've gotten to a point now that if someone doesn't listen to me and they treat me like I'm just an opinion, I move on from them. I'll do that one job and complete and then go, yes.